13 Action News starts now with breaking news.
As we come on the air, we begin with breaking new developments on a story we've been following since last weekend. That's when a spill of liquid fertilizer contaminated Houston Creek in Henry County. We're now learning that spill has resulted in a large number of dead fish discovered in the Maumee River yesterday afternoon. Take a look at these viewer images that we just obtained. These were taken yesterday by Mason Redley while out on a pontoon boat in that area. These images appear to show several dead fish in the water. Napoleon's Fire and Rescue Department responded to Meyerholtz Park, where they confirmed a large number of dead fish were in that area. Crews launched an airboat to see the scale of that issue. The department says they were told one of the dams installed in Houston Creek had failed overnight due to rain. Ohio EPA and county officials were working to mitigate that issue. The investigation says the span of the dead fish goes from the mouth of the Houston Creek to the area of Campbell's Soup, that factory there. They say the number of dead fish is expected to increase as fish flows downriver. Currently, there are no concerns over the water being distributed to Napoleon residents, though. The city says they are currently pulling from the raw water line that runs between Napoleon and the Wauseon Reservoir. They'll continue these measures until further notice. Yesterday afternoon, ammonia and nitrate levels were tested in that river. They were below the threshold for concern. Now, as we've reported, the Ohio EPA has already issued 2 violations for the spill into Houston Creek. The spill was first discovered Saturday, and cleanup operations have continued since Sunday afternoon. Now, this is the first indication that the Maumee River has been impacted by that contamination. We're told the Ohio Department of Natural Resources is working to gather a kill count for the fish involved in this case. And as this story continues to unfold, we'll have you covered both on air and online with the very latest. You can get alerts on that news that matters most to you with the 13 Action News app. It's just a free download away in your phone's app store.